Ever wondered what it feels like to step into someone else's shoes, literally? To Kill a Mockingbird, the timeless classic by Harper Lee, invites us to do just that. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another, is a central theme in this novel. Harper Lee weaves a tale that is as much about understanding others as it is about the harsh realities of racism and injustice. Set in the racially charged South of the 1930s, the story is narrated by Scout, a young girl whose innocent eyes allow us to see the world in a different light. In the quaint town of Macomb, Alabama, we're introduced to a society where empathy is scarce and prejudice is abundant. Through Scout's perspective, we're encouraged to step into the shoes of others, to see the world from their vantage point, and perhaps to understand their struggles. This theme of empathy is beautifully encapsulated in Atticus Finch's advice to Scout. You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb into his skin and walk around in it. This idea is a recurring theme throughout the novel, guiding the characters' actions and shaping their understanding of the world around them. Yet, empathy in To Kill a Mockingbird is not just about understanding others, but also about challenging our own preconceived notions. It's about examining our own biases, questioning our own prejudices, and acknowledging the humanity in everyone. It's about seeing beyond the color of skin, beyond social status, beyond the facade that people often wear. This powerful theme of empathy is not just relevant to the characters in the book, but to all of us as well. It challenges us to look beyond our own experiences and consider the world from others' perspectives. It nudges us to question our assumptions, to challenge our biases, and to strive for a more understanding and inclusive society. So, is empathy a solution to prejudice? Let's explore. A novel isn't just a story. It's a universe filled with diverse characters and intersecting plot lines. That's what we find in To Kill a Mockingbird. This timeless classic, set in the small town of Macomb, Alabama during the Great Depression, is a complex web of narratives, each one as compelling as the other. The story revolves around Scout Finch, her older brother Jem, and their friend Dill as they navigate the landscape of their town and the complexities of morality. The trial of Tom Robinson, a black man falsely accused of assaulting a white woman, forms a significant part of the story. This plot point underscores the deep-seated racial prejudice prevalent in the town. The trial, seen through Scout's innocent eyes, lays bare the harsh realities of society, where justice is not always served. Parallel to the trial, we have the mystery of Boo Radley, a reclusive neighbor who is subjected to rumors and speculation. Boo's character is a touching exploration of how society often alienates those who are different. It's through Boo that we learn about compassion, understanding, and the importance of not judging a book by its cover. The growth of Scout and Jem is another fascinating thread woven into the narrative. We see them evolve from naive children to individuals with a nuanced understanding of the world. Their experiences shape their perception of right and wrong, teaching them the value of empathy, courage, and justice. But the novel doesn't stop at these plot points. It takes us on a journey through the lives of its characters, revealing the societal norms and prejudices of the time. It shows us the ugliness of racism, the importance of standing up for what's right, and the power of empathy. Yet the story is more than just these events. It's about the lessons learned along the way. The unseen plot of To Kill a Mockingbird is the transformation of its characters and its readers, the silent shift in perspectives, and the quiet growth that happens when we step into someone else's shoes. Characters in a novel are not just figments of the author's imagination. They are mirrors reflecting our own selves and society. Let's delve into the heart of To Kill a Mockingbird, the characters. They are the beating heart and the thinking mind of the story, each contributing to the themes of racial inequality, loss of innocence, and morality. First, we meet Scout, our young, feisty protagonist. Through her eyes, we navigate the complexities of the world. Her innocence and curiosity challenge societal norms and compel us to question our own prejudices. Then there's Atticus, the moral compass of Macomb County. He stands as a beacon of integrity and justice, teaching his children, and indeed us, that understanding and empathy are more powerful than hate. His defense of Tom Robinson, in spite of societal backlash, embodies his commitment to equality and justice. Jem, Scout's older brother, represents the transition from innocence to experience. As the story unfolds, we witness his struggle with the harsh realities of injustice and prejudice, an unfortunate rite of passage that marks his loss of childhood innocence. Tom Robinson, a black man falsely accused, is a symbol of racial inequality. His character forces us to confront the reality of racial prejudice and the tragic consequences it can have. Lastly, there's Boo Radley, the misunderstood recluse. He's a testament to the destructive power of rumors and fear. Yet, in spite of the town's unjust treatment of him, Boo's act of saving Scout and Jem shows his inherent goodness, teaching us not to judge a book by its cover. Each of these characters, with their unique perspectives and experiences, contributes to the tapestry of To Kill a Mockingbird. They force us to examine our own prejudices, question our morality, and reflect on our society. Each character in To Kill a Mockingbird has a lesson to teach. It's up to us to learn. To Kill a Mockingbird is not just a story, it's a teacher, imparting life lessons through its pages. One of the key lessons we learn from Harper Lee's masterpiece is the importance of moral education. It's not just about the formal education we receive in schools, but about the lessons we learn from our experiences and the people around us. Through the eyes of young Scout, we see how her father, Atticus Finch, shapes her understanding of right and wrong, not through lectures, but through his actions and the way he treats others. He teaches her that it's not enough to know the difference between right and wrong, but one must also have the courage to act on it, even when it's difficult. Another lesson that resonates deeply is understanding and fighting prejudice. The book takes us back to a time and place where racial prejudice was deeply ingrained. Yet it also shows us that prejudice isn't just about race. It's about making assumptions and judgments about people without truly understanding them. We see this in the way the townsfolk treat Boo Radley, a recluse who is misunderstood and feared simply because he's different. The book challenges us to question our prejudices and to see people for who they truly are. But perhaps the most impactful lesson from To Kill a Mockingbird is the need for empathy. The book beautifully illustrates this through Atticus's advice to Scout: "You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb inside of his skin and walk around in it." Empathy, the book suggests, is the key to understanding others, to fighting prejudice, and to creating a more compassionate and just society. The beautiful thing about To Kill a Mockingbird is that it doesn't just tell us these lessons, it shows us through the lives of its characters, through their struggles and triumphs, their failures and redemptions. These lessons are not just for Scout and Jem, but for all of us. And perhaps that's why, even after all these years, To Kill a Mockingbird continues to be not just a book, but a teacher. So, why should you pick up a copy of To Kill a Mockingbird? Well, let's recap what we've already explored. We've delved into the power of empathy, the unseen plot, the characters that teach us, and the lessons learned. But there's more to it. To Kill a Mockingbird is a novel that transcends time and space. Even though it was written over half a century ago, its themes of racial inequality, social injustice, and moral growth resonate with readers today, perhaps even more so. This is a book that takes you back to the deep South of the 1930s, but it also brings you face to face with the realities and dilemmas of the present day. Its characters are not just ink on paper, they're living, breathing entities that stay with you long after you've turned the last page. There's Scout, the young girl who navigates her way through the complexities of life with curiosity and courage. There's Atticus, the father and lawyer who stands as a beacon of integrity and righteousness. And then there's Boo Radley, the mysterious neighbor who teaches us about the destructive power of prejudice and the redeeming power of understanding. The lessons this book imparts are invaluable. It reminds us of the importance of standing up for what is right, even when it goes against the grain. It shows us that understanding and empathy are the keys to breaking down the walls of prejudice. It teaches us that courage isn't about physical strength, but about moral integrity. But perhaps most importantly, To Kill a Mockingbird is a mirror held up to society. It forces us to look at our own prejudices, our own biases, and our own fears. It makes us question, reflect, and hopefully change for the better. So why read To Kill a Mockingbird? Because it's more than a book. It's a conversation with the past that shapes our understanding of the present and guides our vision for the future. To Kill a Mockingbird isn't just a book. It's a journey into the human heart, a journey worth embarking on.